So, what is this Nordic network for prison education, and why are they arranging things like this? We wanted to say a bit about this network for you. As we have been standing up here, we said, oh, I'm part of the network. We are all part of the network. But this steering committee of the network for prison education, we wanted to tell you a bit more about. Here you see all the different participants in the network. I will present the members as we go on. The early start, it started in the 1970s. There was a need for cooperation, sharing experiences, and getting inspiration from each other. It started with arranging this seminar, this Nordic seminar, every second year. The first years there was some funding from an adult network, and there was some great enthusiasm behind the initiative. It was Kai from Denmark, and Olof from Sweden, and Torfinn from Norway. And I think they had a really, really great time in these years. A lot of networking in different ways. In 2002, the network where the funding came from was rearranged. And in 2006, we became part of NVL, Nordic Network for Adult Learning, which is part of the Nordic Council of Ministers. Still enthusiasts were engaged in the network. Iceland, Finland joined. Today there are 6 representatives from 5 countries. And as I said, financial support from the Nordic Council of Ministers. So what is the role of this NVL, where we get the funding? The NVL focuses on networking within adult learning. We support greatly this thought about network, to work together in some way informal networks, but to discuss over the borders. And the prison education network we are really proud of this actually, because we just found out in January that we are one of NVL's expert networks. We didn't know that, but obviously we are. And this means that we are regarded as being a source of information for NVL regarding the questions of prison education. And there are some other expert networks in validation, in literacy, and in quality development for learning. And what are the goals for Nordic Network for Prison Education? We would like to support mutual Nordic cooperation through seminars like this, through networking, information, and projects. And we try to work quite systematically to spread the word about prison education to all who we think should know about it, because it's a really, really important area. So what do we do? Well, we meet 3 or 4 times a year, mainly in Malmö or Copenhagen, because it's cheap to travel to Copenhagen, and it's in the middle of all of the countries. We arrange seminars on topics of current challenges in prison education. In 2011 and 2012, we had the seminars between the place in prison and prison education. We had one meeting in Malmö and one meeting in Bergen. And we want to continue this cooperation with the prison work as we go further. And as we'll see, we initiate research and reports in the area of prison education, which we did see on Wednesday when Gøril presented the Joint Nordic report. That report is on the initiative from the Nordic Network of Prison Education. Other reports. 2003, there was a lifelong learning perspective cooperation, Nordic version, and in 2005 it was an English version of this. In 2008 there was a joint Nordic survey, educational background of prisoners, Nordic version. It was translated in 2009 in the English version. It was published and sent to all justice departments and educational departments in all Europe, and is actually used as a curriculum for prison education in Georgia or Georgia. So this book is widely spread. In 2009, we made revised editions of these two former reports. And again, 2012, this qualitative study of educational background. So we are quite happy with what we have achieved in the publishing era. We have managed to have some joint Nordic surveys and reports, which we think are important. And now this famous web page we'll be talking about, where all these things will be, all the lectures will be published. You see the address here. There is an editorial board for the web page, and they meet once a year. Here now is Per Krane from Denmark sitting here, who has taken pictures of all of you in all kinds of situations these last days. He is, as far as I know, the only one present here. And there is an editor, Larry, from Finland, who is also representing the NVL. And who are the network? Well, we have met some of them. From Denmark, it's Morten Brun Pettersen. He's not here. He sent his very, very enthusiastic and rather new colleague, Gitte. Can you please stand up? Gitte from Denmark. From Finland, Karolina, we have met quite a few times already. Karolina from Finland. And the only representative from Iceland, Erlendur, is sitting here. From Norway, we have two representatives. And that's not because we think we are more important, but because of the system in Norway, where we have the import model. So both the educational and the justice department are represented in the network. So from Norway, we have Susanne Pive, who spoke earlier, and me. And I act as the coordinator for the network. And from Sweden, we have Lena Axelsson, who sits in front and who spoke yesterday. And she is also the chairlady of EPA, European Prison Association. So this is the network. And what do we want to do in the future? Well, we are working on a plan for what we have to do next year, and we have to apply for funding in order to have our meetings next year. So I will not jump to any conclusions, because we haven't discussed this in the network yet. We are meeting in 2 weeks in Copenhagen. But we want to continue the focus on the women in prison. That's rather important, and I think we have started a great deal of this work here these days. We want to continue the work between work in prison and school education. So I think we will continue with the seminar on this next year as well, maybe. We want to explore the possibilities of further cooperation with the other network, expert networks in NVL. I think there are great potential to share, both in validation and in general adult education. We have been before Nordic Baltic cooperation, and we're hoping to get that back on the feet and cooperate with them. And we are working on some Nordic recommendations, which Lena will talk more about later. So that's the Nordic Network for Prison Education. And if there are any questions, feel free to ask later, and you can send us emails, and you can, of course, check the website. On the website there is a lot of information, a lot of publications from all the countries, just both the joint surveys and publication from each country you find on the web page, and all other information you would want to know or not want to know about prison education in Nordic. Thank you.